Alright guys, so how's it going? So it's a little after 6:05 or something, but we got the John Deere in the shop, we got Big Red out, and got the blower on the John Deere. My light's on. I put the wheel weights on a couple of weeks ago, and I did everything else today. Kind of just took my time, and maybe you can tell there is some white crap falling from the ground. They honestly weren't even talking really any snow today. It was supposed to kind of just, first they said nothing, but then they changed it to rain, and then it's just cold enough now that it's kind of either, it's a mix between wet snow and sleet. So I never got to finish chopping my leaves, but unfortunately it's looking like after this though, I mean, I don't know how much snow we'll get, because now it looks like this is going to last for about freaking 3 days, but depending on where you live, if you live in the actual winter storm warnings area, you could see up to 6 inches of crap, but kind of not good because the ground hasn't really technically froze up yet. So, at least we need, I don't know, just a dusting, I suppose, and then a good cold spell. But anyways, I got the John Deere snowblower on and ran it and everything, greased everything. There's actually two things. There's actually a couple more problems that I found with these John Deeres. I know the first one was with just the auger, which I never did ever finish fixing, because I forgot to get black paint. So that'll be a next year problem, I guess. I don't know. They can just rust over or whatever. So this grease zerk down here for this auger, I don't know, it stopped taking grease. So you can pump a tiny bit in there, and then it just seems like it hits a hard spot. So I'm going to try it with my big heavy-duty grease gun, see if I can blow through it or something. I don't know, I can't do it with my little hand-operated sumbitch. So if that don't work, then I guess I'll have to I'm going to have to leave it the way it is. And then they make a tool. I don't know. I think you fill it with oil or something, and then you put it on the zerk, and then I think you pound it with a hammer. It's supposed to cause extreme force, and then it's supposed to, I guess, blow whatever's in there out. But so yeah, I would keep an eye on that. Try to grease it as much as you can. The other thing that I caught, and I was in here because I thought there was a funny noise going on. This cylinder seems like it's making a louder noise than I remember. So I thought, okay, well, maybe the cylinder is bad, or maybe it's leaking, whatever. Shit happens, right? But I don't notice any looseness in it or any, leaks. I don't know if you have to do this or not. I do it. With the chute, the rotation of the chute down here, and in each one of these little rollers, there's a pulley here and a pulley there and a pulley there. I shoot them with lithium grease. I took it back to the house now. Kind of like we're supposed to, rotate on that bolt, just to help extend its life. I mean, whatever I can do to extend it by another couple of years, it's worth it. So, but then I ran it through its cycle, testing everything again, and then I noticed that the whole damn cylinder is moving before it even begins to pull the chute. This little bolt right here, it actually was slightly loose. It wasn't super loose because I got a lock nut on there, but I could see it sliding. I could see that bolt sliding. I don't know what kind of hole they got in there. You think that would just be a round hole. So, and I don't know if it did that last year or not, because I don't know if I was in this thing last year or not. I don't remember. This thing's a pain in the ass to take off because you gotta pull that plate off. I mean, that's the furthest one in the back, and that's a nuisance. But yeah, so I check this bolt every, I don't know, I guess at least once a season or every other season. I guess it just really depends on if you're gonna oil up those pulleys or not. That's the first time actually ever oiling these pulleys. This is what, my third winter now, I think, I'm going to be going into using this setup. So I can't remember, but it's either my third or, yeah, it's got to be my third. It doesn't feel like it would be my fourth, but yeah. So, but yeah, it's taken me all day to get this thing done, and I'm still not done. Well, I'll be done with the snowblower once I get all this put back together, and then I got to run to the farm, check one of my gaming cameras over there, and then I already put the 1586 away and whatever else. That's all done. I don't have fucking time for it anymore. So, but yeah, I would definitely check these bolts for that cylinder. I would just check everything. You'll know if it's loose, because obviously if it doesn't sound right, or if it's not, you'll just know. See, there's a little bit of slop in them, but I think that's normal. If they're not wore right out, then, probably all right. But I checked this bolt to see if it was getting loose, and it's not. It was this bolt that on the back end that was getting loose, and I was able to get probably about 2 full turns out of it, and then maybe half of a turn, so 2.5 turns or whatever, before the bolt just locked right back up again. So I don't know. You don't think that would back out because it's got a locking nut on the back, so either it wasn't tight from the factory and I just didn't ever notice it, which would be kind of abnormal for me to not notice that, or it just comes loose. I mean, that bolt has to kind of do a lot, so, but, so that's another thing you guys need to keep an eye out for on these augers, or on these snowblowers. I know one guy saw my last video and he was bitching and complaining, they're junky blowers and whatever. Well, they're not junk. You either clearly don't know what the hell you're doing with them, or you just don't like John Deere to begin with. He was talking about getting a 3-point hitch mounted one. Yeah, well, it's going to become a pain in the ass when you have to constantly look behind you. I was actually thinking about doing that with this tractor many years ago. I was going to put the 3-point and the PTO on the back, and then put a little 48-inch blower on the back. But then you'd be pretty much maxing out what this tractor can do on the back end. And then you're only stuck with a 48-inch because you can't go any fucking bigger than that, because the 3-point hitch probably wouldn't be able to lift it then, and then you would run out of horsepower. Here, these blowers are actually designed to fit these tractors, because they use the PTO shaft for the mower deck, which spins at a much higher speed than the rear. This is 2,000. The one on the rear is only 540. So you'd probably run out a lot of power before you'd even blow anything. And I've moved a lot of snow with this blower since I bought it, obviously, and I haven't had a lot of issues. I've had some minor issues, like the auger thing, and now that bolt, and then of course I got this one Zerk not taking grease. But I don't know, I'll tinker around with it with my big gun and see if I can blow through it, whatever else. So, but I want to take a break. I want to go and have something to eat, because I've been taking breaks, obviously, but I've just You know, when you keep looking at the same thing for hours and hours and hours, you just get kind of fucking burned out. So, and I need to get to the farm and check up on my camera before anything else. But I'll probably put this back together and then eat. I don't know. It ain't gonna take long to cook that. So, I noticed that somebody, they had a 54-inch blower. Somebody's going to have to find this for me. I don't even know what the hell you would look for. But they found that it was on this blower. It was on for a 54-inch blower. Now, obviously, you can have a electric cylinder here for your deflect. And obviously, I still haven't done that yet. But that's probably because I don't think this snowblower is going to be on this tractor forever. But I noticed that they had a pull cable type doohickey. So I think it was just like a pulling rod or something over there, and it would mount in these exact same places. So I'm thinking maybe that would be more ideal, because then I could just run a cable. You know, it's like obviously a stiff cable of some kind or a little rod or something. I don't know, and then just mount it in there, and at least I could still, you know, deflect it. You know, use the deflector or whatever, adjust it. You know, while on the go. So, but yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it on that. So, I know some of you guys are gonna bitch and complain. Yeah, blowers are junk. Blowers are junk. Well, it doesn't matter what blower you get. I've said that in my previous video too. It doesn't matter if it's a John Deere, a Kubota, Troy-Bilt, Land Pride. What is the other one? Farm King, Honda, whatever. You know, all those. It doesn't matter. Even if it's a walk behind, or front end mounted, or 3-point mounted, it doesn't freaking matter. You will get the occasional machine that will have either slight problems, or it's just going to be the world's biggest pile of crap, and it's just going to grenade the first time you use it, right? Luckily, my blower's just had some minor issues. You know, so it's not a piece of junk. It does what I want it to do. What I want it on? Do I want it on this tractor? Not really, because this is a 4-wheel steer. It's not 4-wheel drive. But if I get I'm hoping to get my hands on a 1025R. But if it don't happen, it's going to be an X758 or whatever is going to be next in line, depending on whenever I get them. But it's going to be something 4-wheel drive and diesel. X700s and the One family size tractors take this exact same size blower. I'm not 100% sure on the One family, which is the 1025R from John Deere. I think their frame is different in the front, so in order to have this on, you have to have plates put on. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But the X758s, they all have the same size frame, design of frame and stuff, just like this tractor. They've never changed the frame. So if I get a 1025 or an X758, all I would have to change out is the mid shaft, because this is obviously a different style from what an X758 would take. But the lift arm, the blower, probably even the wheel weights, and I don't know about the chains. Chains might be a different story. Most of this I can put on to another style of tractor. This fits a wide range of tractors, just not, you know, this. So, but yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Definitely check up on your bolts. That's all I had to do here, and I just wanted to lube everything up, make sure it was good to go, and wasn't going to have any issues with it. So, but no, I think the only reason why some people complain because they're junk, like this one guy, but I think the two main reasons to why he was complaining, one is because he can't afford a John Deere blower because they're way too damn much money. I mean, I don't know what I paid for this, like close to $3,000 for it. It was ridiculous, you know. So, might be even more than that now. And maybe he's just not a John Deere guy. Maybe he's something else. But, you know, it's just, You run what you like. If you like John Deere, then you run John Deere. If you like Case IH, well, then you run Case IH. You like Honda, well, then run Honda. I like Honda too. I got a Honda trimmer under that cover. That's a Honda trimmer. I put that away too, by the way. And my tractor that I have is an International Harvester 1586, so I run red too. And we also have a Farmall 400 and a Farmall Super A Cultivision. So this is just my lawnmower. Oh, and we also have a John Deere John Deere RX 75 and a John Deere 1032 snowblower, walk behind snowblower. That blower finally grenaded last year, so it's retired. It's done now. So until we find another walk behind snowblower for the farm, or we just adapt something else, then yeah. So, but yeah, don't be a crybaby because you can't afford it, or you just think it's. Yeah, I mean, if you think it's junk, well, then you obviously either haven't ran one, or you just don't like them, and that's fine. If you don't like them, you don't like them. I'm not gonna force you to go buy a John Deere. You're gonna buy what you want. A lot of people like Kubota, and the Kubota's tractors, like the one size that's the same as a 1025R. The only thing I don't like about Kubota is if you had a loader on the front, you got your joystick right here. It's mounted to the loader, and it's not comfortable. Whereas on John Deere, it's literally right here, like right where the cup holder would be. John Deere figured it out, If Kubota would do the same thing as what John Deere's doing, then they would have an awesome tractor. But unfortunately, they don't want to copy John Deere because then, they want to be their own tractor, which is fine. So, but for me, I'm sticking with John Deere. So yeah, guys, I'm going to take off. I'm going to get this plate. I got to put this plate back on. That goes on the back side underneath. Put that back on, and then I want to go have something to eat, and then I'll either finish this if I don't get done in time, or I'm going to run to the farm first, and then I'll come back and finish this. I can do this in the dark because I got lights, so it doesn't really matter, but whatever. But yeah, so that's the other problem there. Be sure to check that out too. Check your bolts for your cylinders. Just check everything underneath there. Oil it if you want to. I did. I just used white lithium grease. Same thing for the chute rotation. My uncle says you got to grease them or they'll freeze up. I used to use just regular general purpose grease. But then, to get it in there properly, you'd have to unbolt all that, and I'm not doing that. Light lithium grease is easier because it's in a spray can, and you got holes in there for reasons. So there you go. Lube it up good. Run it back and forth a couple times and lube it some more, and then good enough. So, but yeah, and I will answer one more question here. Have I ever had this freeze up? Because these have been known to freeze up. These cylinders are underneath. One time that's happened to me. But that was because it melted, and then it got hot or it got cold again, and then it froze, whatever, and just built up ice, and then I had rotation to one side, but not the other side, so I had to tear all that apart. But luckily I had a heat gun. I was able to melt all that. Good enough. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess I'll have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.